After getting blessings from Jayanti Devi Temple, I am returning back. I have already informed all of my subscribers through short videos of 2 to 4 minutes that our house was trespassed during the wee hours of 14th of this month. I am not still able to find out whether that gangster was alone or a multiple number of thieves managed to enter our house from which side. But I am very cautious and alert man. I used to keep myself awake throughout the night just for the sake of web designing, search engine optimizing, and other kind of activities like security concerns also, because ordinary family members and any common man can't even assume that Indians can jump so easily and reach first floor of house and then manage to enter by opening the door. Moreover, I was already aware from my childhood that these kind of people are very tricky in nature. They can climb water pipes, wires, and cut down wire gauge doors also, due to which I used to believe that remaining awake and vigil is the only way to protect your belongings, family members, including your own life also. But even now, I am not able to convince anyone that just because of my alertness or awakening nature, that person might have fled away, taking small amount of money and a pair of ornament, which costed about 2000 or 1800 rupees. In total, we lost about 2200 rupees only. All through the day, we decided that it is better to wait till evening and discuss the matter with neighbors so that they should also become more alert and conscious. Otherwise, also, I had read a few burglaries news which happened in Sector 6, Panchkula, during April 2025 itself. And when I tried to send a WhatsApp message to her so that she should also become aware from this place only, I thought that my WhatsApp was being uh, finding any kind of trouble in connecting, due to which various kind of assumptions came into my mind. But uh, when we informed our neighbors, they were feeling very anxious and surprised also. A few of them were applauding their cameras, and then few of them applauded their achievements, that if any burglary or theft would have been occurred in this sector, then they were the ones who are always informed, and if they are not being contacted by law enforcement team, it means that any kind of mischievous trespassing didn't occur at all. Then I felt very uneasy, and but I didn't reacted because otherwise also we are the ones who had initiated any kind of cooperation from their side. And I managed to get the screenshot and video clippings of the culprit who climbed the first floor of a corner house opposite to a house adjacent to our house, and then that culprit managed to climb various rooftops. But no one informed us that any kind of theft occurred in other houses also, and we were the first who informed other neighbors. So obviously we should have been encouraged or consoled about our losses, but it was not the case. Everyone was applauding himself and themselves only. Then the next day, when I opened the door, a few cops was had reached our houses. They informed us that a neighbor had called for help, and they had informed that any kind of theft activities were occurred in your house. I said politely that, of course, few amount of money has been stolen from our house, but we are not able to find the exact path of that culprit, and other neighbors definitely would have suffered a few kind of losses. You should try to find out. He replied, why are you feeling so much terrified? Won't I it would be better that we should provide any gunmen for you. But she reacted immediately, my husband is feeling fearful just because of me only, because I was also present in the house. Moreover, I was watching television from 2:32 till 3:32, a.m. So, according to me, the culprit might have been hidden inside the ground floor bedroom of our house. So, in short, in spite of cooperating us and encouraging everyone to take proper actions against the culprits, all of the people were trying to find out our schedule, but I was continuously influencing them to consider at which the thief managed to enter our house. But I was already aware that the person might have taken refuge without any plan. But many of them said that it is possible that a pre planned conspiracy through Reiki might have occurred in your house. But I kept on convincing them that you should become more cautious, alert, and in future these kind of thefts should not occur in our community because the rich people have managed to install powerful fencings and CCTVs around their houses, but our lane has been abandoned totally, and the public park is also becoming more and more insecure because of various openings from different sides. In the end, the cops returned back without inquiring much, and during the next evening, I went for prayers intentionally so that if any person might have faced more losses, he or she will definitely inform us also, and that happened exactly. She came to know through small children that Alexa has been stolen from our neighbor's house, but no one had complained. So I was feeling very discouraged all throughout the night. I kept on thinking that even when we lost some money and precious ornaments, and it is a very humiliation for us that anyone else is complaining on our behalf. So why should we become more responsible and complain about other neighbors who are not able to grab courage to report? So I called the cops. We reached our house in about 15 minutes, but instead of finding the exact cause that we are failing to find out the culprit, and I am feeling really tired because of chronic fatigue syndrome. My family members are also feeling very tired, and instead of noticing that various neighbors are also facing equivalent harassment and torture because of immense number of burglaries and thefts, they kept on convincing that your family matters have becoming more and more worst, and it needs some kind of external help. And they noted that only, but I had no other option to sign that I had called for a family dispute only. But I recorded all the event live, and in that also I kept on repeating that I am feeling tired just because of the theft activities. You should take some action. The photographs were very clear. The screenshots were provided to the inquiring cops. Now you should call any investigation company also, like forensic experts from Madhuban Laboratories. But they returned back. During the next day, few cops reached our neighbor's premises again from my first floor and reached downstairs. Then they reached that house from where few electronics gadgets were stolen. In the end, they noticed that the people had taken security from any private company also. But even then, I convinced them that you should take responsible action against the culprits, and the picture quality is so clear. The first team were just trying to distract us. So in India, these kind of corrupt officials are existing, and I am sure the information about the belongings and the architectural structure of buildings are taken from these kind of law enforcement teams only. Due to their nature, I was aware and become more conscious that when they are not writing down the exact cause and circumstantial evidence is also. This is the first instance in my life when any kind of money or ornaments had been stolen. But I am still bold enough to inform my subscribers, well wishers, even the enemies also, because all throughout the life till my death, I will remain alert and cautious only because that is my part of the schedule and lifestyle only. So there is no sense in hiding anything from my subscribers. Moreover, 90% are always positive towards me and my family. So the purpose of recording was clear and transparent in nature. When even during the third or fourth visit, the law enforcement team will not cooperate with you in writing down the first information report about our belongings, even if it costed so much less. Why should I influence my family members to become more and more discouraged at the cost of a rich and prosperous who don't bother about the security? Just by considering the nominal amount, they think that everything should be ignored. The trespassing and stealing is not any ordinary act, it is the root cause of all the evils of the world. But I am still feeling very sad and unhappy just because of the fact that no one appreciated my efforts, even when I didn't scolded, beated, even when I didn't acted in a violent manner towards the culprits. Most probably the thief might have fled just because of my alert and awakening nature. No one in this world appreciated. In fact, they think that it is not possible at all just because of the heavenly bodies and miraculous nature, or the gangster might have felt pity on our poverty. So the gangster picked a small 8 or 6 feet astral CPVC pipe and placed it on the bed and took away very minute amount of objects. He might have taken Xbox, he might have taken Alexa or other precious items like watches, and that is considered a very uncommon act. But instead of focusing on the real trouble which he might have faced, I was taking few photographs of wheat flour bag also. He might have noticed everything. I was eating bread, making tea at 3:32 a.m., watching few trailers on Netflix. He might have noticed everything, and it is really a horrifying and terrifying information because of the assumptions that the culprit might have been carrying any sharp object or gun also. Even if one has installed CCTV, hooters should be connected with that, and human activity sensors should be activated. Even then, if you are not at the house, the thieves will manage to enter and take away your belongings so easily, just because of the fact that neighbors don't react so easily. In today's world, everyone assumes that the culprits are accompanied by more and more gangsters who are mutually acting against the public in such kind of a conspiring and planned method that they will manage to fled away after harming those who want to help the neighbors. Due to these reasons, people have taken help of private companies who in fact are so much secretive in nature that they don't even inform the official law enforcement team, due to which they are becoming more and more helpless. So in the end, I didn't criticize them completely, but their efforts were really very meager enough. They didn't fetch any kind of information from the victims. They didn't took away any fingerprints also. They should have called the forensic experts also, taking into consideration the proximity and importance of these kind of sectors which are very close to army camps also. So all kind of assumptions should be taken by all of you. Even then, I'm too confident and courageous enough. I don't bother about these kind of flesh Indians. Most of them belong to mosque demolishing group. After all, they are suffering with mass hysteria and feel good factor only, due to which everyone is collaborating with each other, and we have to take care of our own security. You don't have any option also. So there is no sense in assuming any kind of links with plumbers, painters, carpenters. After all, gangsters are a different entity. They have become such powerful and tech savvy that they manage to get information from various sources. Till your city's law enforcement team is impartial and cooperative, it is not possible to trace their whereabouts. Thanks a lot for joining my broadcast.